Rogers from Hollywood, California, with a beautiful head of hair, going against Buddy the Heartthrob Hart from Calgary. Buddy Hart is a dynamic young wrestler. This guy is a comer, suffering a little bit right now. Tommy Young, the referee. And while they're going at it, Billy, why don't you tell the folks about some of the matches coming up in our area.
On Monday, April the 2nd at 8 p.m., Maple Leaf Wrestling returns to the Brantford Civic Center, featuring Rufus R. Jones, Jay Youngblood, the Great Kabuki, and many of the other stars of Maple Leaf Wrestling. And on Sunday, April the 1st at 7:30 p.m. in Toronto's Maple Leaf Gardens, promoter Jack Tunney has come up with another all-star card. You'll see such stars as Brickhouse Brown, Pistol Pez Watley, the Great Kabuki, the Destroyer. In tag action, Jay Youngblood and Johnny Weaver take on the K Brothers. In a North American title match, Leo Burke goes up against Buddy Hart. And topping it off, a captain's match. The Assassins, 1 and 2, with Paul Jones, take on the Boogie Woogie Man, Handsome Jimmy, Dory Funk Jr., and Rufus R. Jones. Remember, this great card all takes place on Sunday, April the 1st, 7:30 p.m. in Toronto's Maple Leaf Gardens.
Well, it was all Buddy Hart there at the outset of this match, but Goldie Rogers has come back and just pulled the old slingshot there. But oh, look at there. I mean, a shot to the midriff from Buddy Hart. There's one right on the chin. Whoa!
Oh, and another good forearm smash by Buddy Hart. Reaches down, grabs a handful of hair, pulls him up by the hair.
That was handy.
Uses a few of the tactics of Goldie Rogers. Hart moves in, goes for the figure four. Down he goes. He's got the figure four applied, and I think we're going to see a fall right here for sure, because when you get that applied properly right in the middle of the ring, and there's the bell on this one. So, in our curfew match, Buddy Hart. Buddy Hart goes up one fall.
Well, we've got another minute and a half, so if Goldie Rogers is going to make a comeback, he better get cracking.
Yes, he better get moving.
He's not quite ready.
However, no doubt his legs right now, doesn't have too much feeling in him, and Buddy Hart not wasting any time, puts that leg over that second rope, starts to kick away on it.
Tommy Young keeping an eye on this. Not going to miss a trick. Is he going to go for this again? Tie him up again? The crowd says yes, but no, he stomps on his midriff.
Well, Buddy Hart really putting the boots to this Goldie Rogers.
Well, Buddy Hart is not fooling around. He comes out, he gets to work right away. Oh! Are we going to see a KO here?
Well, if it keeps up this way, we could very easily have one. Hart gets him in a position for a suplex. Up he goes, down goes Rogers. Hart on top, and about 2 3/4.
Well,
Goldie Rogers
is
going to have a tough time pulling this one out, Mike. He's probably got less than a minute remaining in this match.
He's taking a terrific beating from Buddy Hart.
Well, and there's the bell, Mike, so it's all over. And there we see Tommy Young raises the hand of Buddy Heartthrob Hart, the winner. Buddy Heartthrob Hart.
Tomorrow afternoon, Ric Flair, check it on your calendar at 1:30. Maple Leaf Gardens. Your reign as world's heavyweight champion is coming to an end. I am rewriting wrestling history all over again. Number 8, the Big 8, is coming up. I took the title in Toronto, Canada, once before. I made it my home away from home. It's not Greensboro, North Carolina, with a prejudiced referee in the way all the time. It's Toronto inside a steel cage on neutral ground. And tomorrow afternoon will be Ric Flair's end as world's heavyweight champion.
This is Kevin Wall here to remind you that tomorrow, Maple Leaf Gardens, that's right, the Canadian heavyweight champion will be crowned. It will be a who's who of professional wrestling, including the grapplers.
Yeah, they tell me all the big names are there, all the big reputations. Dickie Slater's going to be there. Ivan Koloff's going to be there. Jake the Snake Roberts. But you know what? They only got one belt on the line. That means everybody's going to get real greedy. You know what, people? It don't matter if I walk out there with it or this man does, but I guarantee you one thing, we will. Beat us if you can.
Introducing first from Texas, weighing 230 pounds, Bobby Bass. His opponent from Calgary, Alberta, weighing 240 pounds, the North American heavyweight wrestling champion, Leo Burke. The referee, Stu Swartz. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Burke would like to be called the Ontario Dream.
Well, the Ontario Dream hasn't got his belt off yet, the championship belt, before Bobby Bass is wanting to get business underway before he gets his shirt off. I don't know where the Ontario Dream came from, and I'm not going to say anything about it.
No, I don't either. I could understand if he wanted to be referred to as the Ontario Nightmare, but the Ontario Dream, that's a little too much, isn't it? Bobby Bass, this fellow from Texas, you know, this should be a very interesting match because both men have basically the same style. They throw the rule book out the window. Bobby Bass, sometimes we wonder if he's playing with the full deck. And anyway, like I said, it should be a real barn burner because both styles are similar. They don't care about the rules. And we're going to see what happens.
Bobby Bass and Leo Burke. Bobby seems to be shouting to someone outside of the ring. Not sure who that was. While we figure that out, why don't we bring the folks up to date on some upcoming matches that they'll see here on Maple Leaf Wrestling. Billy?
I'd like to remind all our fans in the Brantford area that Maple Leaf Wrestling returns to the Brantford Civic Center tomorrow night at 8 p.m. featuring all the stars of Maple Leaf Wrestling. But tomorrow afternoon at 1:30 in Toronto's Maple Leaf Gardens, promoter Jack Tunney presents the card that everyone is talking about. You'll see Kurt Von Hess, Joe Marcus, Nick DiCarlo, Bobby Bass. In tag action, the K Brothers, Rudy and Terry, take on yours truly and Johnny Buzzsaw Weaver. Heartthrob Buddy Hart goes up against J.J. Dillon. In a North American title match, Leo Burke, the champion, puts his title on the line against Vinny Valentino. In tag action, Handsome Jimmy and Dusty Rhodes go against the Assassins #1 and #2, who will be accompanied by their manager, Paul Jones. And finally, a world heavyweight title match inside of a 10-foot steel cage, and there must be a winner in this one. The champion, Rick Nature Boy Flair, takes on Harley Race. Now remember, this great card all takes place tomorrow afternoon, 1:30 in Toronto's Maple Leaf Gardens.
Leo Burke is looking for a little discussion from Bobby Bass. Mixed it up in the center of the ring with a few equal kicks and a few equal things. I think so far, Billy, you could say the match has been fairly even. The North American champion, as usual, taking his time, slow and deliberate, I guess is how you'd describe Leo Burke's tactics.
Yes. A moment ago there, when we saw Bobby Bass whip Leo Burke into the turnbuckle, there was actually a lot of fans started to cheer for Bobby Bass. And Mike, I think you'll vouch for this. That's probably the first time I've ever seen any of the fans cheer Bobby Bass. However, when you see Leo Burke, it's easy to understand why. I think regardless of who goes against Leo Burke, it automatically be the favorite of the fans.
Well, Leo, as you said at the outset of this match, Billy, Leo is not really overly concerned with the rule book or being Mr. Nice Guy. He's decided to call himself the Ontario Dream. But you're absolutely right. The people are cheering for Bobby Bass, and in my limited experience, it certainly is the first time I've ever seen anybody cheer for Bobby Bass, but they're cheering that one.
Yes. He got an awful shot to the back of the head there when Bass kicked him off, and now Bass drives his head right into the mat. You can see
Burke's forehead there. He's got it all bandaged up from a recent match he just had, I believe it was with Roddy Piper.
Whoa.
And that's where he received all the injuries to the forehead.
Bobby Bass has certainly staggered him with those blows to the canvas, and that is some hard trip. Look out.
Oh, and a driving slam by Bobby Bass.
Here's the Leo Burke we've grown to know and love, begging for mercy while he can catch his breath, and a lot of guys fall for that, you know.
Yes, he's always stalling for time. Well, he's a master at it. When he gets in a little trouble, how he can drag it out. Gets on the, stays on the mat, backs into a corner, always manages to get up in time to beat the count if the referee's putting a count on him, but he can really kill a clock. Oh.
That's he wasn't ready for that little rake down the gardening at the front. Oh my Lord, a good shot to the midriff. I believe he's got him staggered here.
Well, there's a hard thumb right to the Adam's apple by Bob Bass. And no doubt Bobby Bass today is saying, well, that's my scientific thumb and my scientific scratch down the chest. Now he goes to the throat area of Leo Burke, and Stu Schwartz calls for a break.
Well, so he should. Look like he was an obvious choke there. Although we're blocked right now, we can figure there's an eye gouge maybe and a choke going on.
Yes,
Whoa.
That's exactly what was going on. Now Burke comes back with a couple of hard shots right to the midsection, and now Bobby Bass is on the receiving end.
Introducing him to the laces of his boot there, I believe, Bill.
Yes.
Oh.
Hard right by Leo Burke.
Well, you were right. You said it would be a barn burner because these guys have very, very similar styles of tactics. And as you said, and we mentioned earlier, that the rule book is just gone for this one.
Yes.
Look out.
Oh, and he runs right into a knee coming off the ropes. Bobby Bass flat on his back. Leo Burke lines him up, comes down with a hard knee right to the head. And Burke goes for the pin. And just like that, Mike, this one's all over.
He got it. We'll go for the official results. Over to Norm Kimber.
The winner of the match, Leo Burke.
Cage match. Gary Hart, you're in the cage. Kabuki against the Boogie Woogie Man, Jimmy Vant, and Bob Orton Jr.
Let me tell you, in Toronto, tomorrow, you try to bring those goggles, Valiant. I dropped you with Sweet Lucy, brother. I put it on the back of your head, and everyone there knows that I am your master. You are not my master. It's enough to put myself and the great Kabuki in a cage. You want to treat us like animals. You want to have the advantage of the goggles. Well, you come ahead, because David Crockett, I can be an animal too, brother, because I'm from Halstead Street, if that means anything to you.
All right, then tomorrow, the World Tag